Was the Ted series actually any good? Now, I am a fan of the Ted movies, the first Ted movie and the second Ted movie. I like them both. So whenever this series got announced and said it was going to be coming out on Peacock, I was definitely curious and interested in checking it out. But the question is, how was this series? So if you may not know, this is actually a prequel series basically taking place before the movies. I believe the year it was taking place was 1993. And this is a series that you can actually binge watch through as they released all seven, I think it was 7 or 8 episodes. They released them all at once, so you're able to binge watch through them. And with this series, you get the relationship between Ted and John. Basically, you see them going through high school and you see them at their home life. So you're just getting a bunch of shenanigans and mishaps and things like that throughout high school and at home. But also, too, through this series, you get their first introductions to drugs and weeds, which was some funny times. Basically, you get to see their very first ever experience with actually taking weed and actually trying some other drugs. So it leads to some funny scenes going on. And also, too, really in this series, you get to see the dynamics and relationships that they have with their family, like with their parents. And they also have a cousin that lives with them. So it's funny just seeing that whole relationship with the family and the dynamics of the family. And I gotta say, they had some pretty good chemistry and it just led to some funny parts. Honestly, if I was to make a comparison to something else, it kind of feels like a live action Family Guy in a way. When it comes to the visual effects of Ted, it looks like Ted was actually a real being, just being there in the scenes with them. When it came to the Ted movies, they had a lot of raunchy comedy going on in those movies, and this series is no exception to that. They have a bunch of raunchy comedy going on in this series. I honestly enjoyed the comedy in this one. This is probably the most I laughed at a sitcom in a very long time. Just being able to see this series and see the relationship between Ted and John, just seeing a bunch of shenanigans and mishaps that go on in this series, it's so funny at times. It makes me laugh out loud. And honestly, by the time I finished watching all the episodes, I just wanted more from them. I wanted more episodes from them. So hopefully they can be able to get another season because I really enjoyed this series and just seeing the comedy and just being able to laugh so much in a sitcom. Like I haven't laughed like this in a long time. It is definitely my type of humor, the raunchiness and the comedy that they have in this series. I definitely say if you're a fan of the Ted movies, I think you're definitely going to like this series. It definitely brings that style of comedy from the movies into this series. So I definitely recommend it.